Well, AI is still very much front and center, artificial intelligence being the big driver of markets and news these days, and it certainly was no exception last week. AI continued to kind of dominate headlines, and you got news, like Nvidia obviously overtaking Apple and Microsoft as the largest company. Briefly, it's kind of backed off since then. But Apple making its own push into AI and all things AI. So, big news mover, but actually was not the big market winner last week. AI and tech in general took a back seat and kind of changed hands with the Dow kind of taking control last week in the lead. So, big news for AI, but was not necessarily the positive market force last week. So we'll get more into that. I'm Mike Minter. This is your Market in Minutes report. We're looking back on June 17th through the 21st. So let's jump into the numbers and see what occurred here. So as I said, the Dow kind of took control last week. So you had a shift away from tech later in the week in these AI-driven stocks, which was a little surprising, but that's exactly what happened. So Dow Jones leading the way, S&P still firmly in positive territory. Small cap stocks took a little bit of a breather last week, and Nasdaq was about flat, and so were foreign developed markets just about flat. So still year-to-date performance very strong, particularly in the broad markets. S&P up 15% and Nasdaq up 18%. So tech still very much dominating in terms of the overall performance on the year. Foreign stocks doing quite well as in addition to that, so 5.36% there. And so let's switch over to rates. Rates relatively unchanged, not a whole lot going on here. The 30-year did come down a bit. They all kind of came down a bit, and 30-year mortgage was relatively flat, so not a lot of movement there. Home prices also topping out, and we've seen some just on fire home prices as inventory is still low. And people are sitting on those crazy low mortgage rates and not willing to give that up. So the housing market continues to be a bit of a challenge. But let's jump into some of the news. So mixed economic news, still AI driving, and we'll talk about that more on the next slide. But all three averages began the week with gains, including new highs for the S&P 500. However, stocks posted only modest gains on Tuesday as we had some mixed economic data. Retail sales came in less than expected, and although they were better than in April when sales actually fell. So, of course, markets were closed midweek for Juneteenth holiday on Wednesday, so no action going on there. As the week ended, it was the Dow's turn to lead as sentiment shifted on mega cap tech names, as investors again questioned the sustainability of AI market drivers. Home prices hit a new high in May. This is what I was just talking about. This, paired with high mortgage rates, caused existing home sales to fall for the third consecutive month. So housing continues to be a struggle, and investors are beginning to question a little bit of the longevity of AI, although clearly it's a game changer, not going anywhere. But a notable AI driver here, this is interesting. Some investors and market analysts are examining the underlying long-term drivers of AI more closely, given its outsized impact on market averages like the S&P and particularly the Nasdaq. Well, so one such driver is DRAM, the Dynamic Random Access Memory, the AI turbocharged version of a RAM semiconductor, more commonly referred to as memory chips. Companies making the DRAM chips are an essential part of the AI ecosystem, and so we're really expecting attention to shift to these prominent DRAM players as they report their earnings in Q2. So the AI story continues to evolve. This is all new to me, folks, this lingo. I am not a techie by any means, but we're learning as we go because it's moving so fast. So what's on deck for this week? Tuesday, consumer confidence, Case-Shiller Home Price Index. Wednesday, new home sales. Thursday, gross domestic product, jobless claims, durable goods orders, international trade and goods. Friday, personal income and outlays and consumer sentiment. Companies reporting earnings. Not a huge week, but still a few bigger names in here. FedEx on Tuesday, Carnival Corporation. Wednesday is Micron Technology, Paychex, and General Mills. And Thursday, we have Nike, McCormick, Walgreens Boots Alliance. So, like I said, fairly even keel week for earnings. So, appreciate the time today, folks. This is all of our contact information. If you need to get in touch with us for any reason, we'd love to speak with you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. We'd love to have you get our videos as they come out. Here is a little light disclosure for you. But other than that, we'll report back to you next week on our findings for this week. Hopefully we have a good one. And hopefully you guys are enjoying your summer vacation. We're in full swing now. So things tend to slow down around this time of year in terms of market news and trading, which in this year is no different. Trading volume tends to dip a little bit. But we'll keep that news coming as we get it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.